crime could investigate what he has committed. This is about this is all about if we speak about what happened. Because as mayor, I tried to enter those police stations and to see what's happening inside. I was refused, even if it is about my subordinates. I could not enter the commissariats of police. Then I called every day Prime Minister, Chairman of Parliament, President of the State. Let's go together, or give somebody from your authorities, from your offices, to go with me to the police stations to see what's going inside. Refuse. Every day. 8th, 9th, 10th, and the other days of April. Prosecutor office, no reaction. Judges office, no reaction. The trials against these persons took place in the police stations, not in the courtrooms. The judge and the prosecutor came to the police station, and they were making the trials against those young people because of security reasons. I mean, even if somebody has thrown a stone in the parliament, I doubt that for security reasons those guys should be. The trial should take place in the police station. I mean, what then to do with somebody who has killed somebody? I mean, where to make the trial? And the majority of those, out of those 43 persons, only one participated in the violent actions of devastation of parliament and presidency. I don't know if you know the development of this protest in Moldova. On 5th we had the April. On 6th we had the on 5th we had the elections. On 6th we had the first peaceful protests. On 7th it was completely spontaneous. Young people, SMS, internet messages. They went out on the streets with candles. With the they declared 6th of April like funerals of democracy or funerals of Moldova, because of communist regime restoring in power and no perspective for this country. And on 7th of April, these peaceful protests continued, but regretfully there were some 100, 150 violent persons who started to attack presidents and parliament. The police stepped back, did not defend these buildings. It was transformed in violent actions and devastation of these two buildings. And in the night, 7th to 8th, the police started the terror in the city. The first dead person was beaten on the square. We have witnesses, and he was beaten to death by the policeman. And then day by day, hundreds of people were arrested in the streets without any respect to the legal procedures. So the communists, they turned the protests against the scope of the protests through those violent groups. You saw the pictures on the screen, who are not part of the protest. Let's say they were there in order to destroy this protest, and then they used as argument the fact that the parliament and the presidency were partially destroyed in order to install this terror regime, to start hunting people on the streets and beating them in the police commissariats. That is what happened. They call it differently. Coup d'etat on the behalf of the opposition, involvement of Romania, but those who put the flag on the presidency, on the parliament, you saw them at the end of the film. They were escorted on the roofs of the two buildings by the security service of the presidency and of the parliament. And there is a statement of the chief of the security service that indeed he escorted those two guys. His argument was in order to stop the violences. In the same time, the president says that the fact that the flag of Romania, which is not different too much comparative to Moldovan flag, means that it was a revolution, a coup d'etat organized by Romania. So his chief of security service said that it was his job, and he did so in order to prevent violences. And the president says that it is a coup d'etat. So they have to decide to choose at least one version. At the same time, it's just a moment, it's very strange that the Russian president says the same. He has the same opinion. I mean, how it was possible that flag of a different state was on the presidency of Moldova. We cannot admit something like that. And he cannot see that for 17 years, the Russian army is occupying a part of Moldova. And a lot of Russian flags are on different institutions of Transnistria inside Moldova without no problem. So this is not a coup d'etat. A flag which just don't have, let's say, this part of it. On the presidency, this is a coup d'etat. But the army is not a coup d'etat. And Voronin also cannot see the difference, or cannot see the other part of the problem that Moldova had. It means that, as usual, a totalitarian regime always wants to find an external danger, an external enemy, in order to threaten the society. And it was the same with the Soviet regime. In 2005, Voronin accused Russia of coup d'etat in Moldova after the elections. Now it's Romania and Serbia. I don't know how European Union was not accused, because the flag of European Union also was on the parliament. I don't know how United States are not accused, because one of the arrested people is Jonathan Netanyahu, who is Romanian and US citizen at the same time, but only Romania was accused of coup d'etat. So it's a completely, let's say, unprofessional built story, and I'm convinced that all the serious structures of the world, as NATO is or other structures, have enough information to say openly to Voronin what it was about. It was about the non-willingness of Voronin to recognize the reality, because the young people, they were burning his portraits. They were burning the portraits of Lenin. They don't want communism. This is the essence of the protest. And as party, we said that we consider that the reaction of the society was justified. We do not accept the violences against the presidents and the parliament, but it was organized by the services of the state. Right? And we do not accept what happened before even more, because it's completely unacceptable. The torture, the ill treatment that happened in the police stations. All this brings us to a situation of non-legitimacy of the government, of the elections, and a need for a different approach towards Moldova.
Yes.